Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's morning market. So today I'm going to focus in on the big price spike upwards in natural gas. So yesterday we saw European natural gas prices up around about 40%. So I'll give you more detail on that, but also look at what is our take on this. Okay, so what are the details? So yesterday saw natural gas prices rise up to 42 euros per megawatt hour from around about 30 euros the day previously. So what happened? Well, what happened was you saw reports that workers at liquefied natural gas plants, so LNG plants in Australia, were planning strike action in a fight for higher pay and better job security. So market movements were also exacerbated by a lot of traders closing out their bets where they felt that prices of natural gas would fall. But why is this important? You know, whilst Australian LNG really actually flows directly to Europe, what you do see is the European Union becoming much more reliant on sea transfer of Australian natural gas, and that's to replace the supplies since the supplies were constrained due to the conflict in Ukraine. But how does that compare to previous price levels? So I've talked about a price move from 30 euros up to over 40 euros. But what did we peak out at last summer? So those prices are still significantly lower compared to what we saw last summer, which was around about 340 euros per megawatt hour. One thing that was quite interesting though is we have seen price spikes like this through this year, but normally what happens is actually by the end of the day that the prices actually start to come back down, and we didn't really see this yesterday. I guess, what's our view? Until there is a formal resolution to the conflict in Ukraine, then realistically supply chains will potentially see some pressure. Now, what I think is a good point here is actually if you look at the European Union and the gas storage facilities that they have, they're actually nearly 90% full now. So again, that puts them in a much better place compared to what we'd seen late last year. If we think, how did asset markets move on the back of that? Well, actually, generally, asset markets were pretty positive. So yesterday, both the FTSE and Europe were up. They were led by the more energy-focused names, so anything related to oil and gas, resources did particularly well. Also, financials did particularly well as well, with Italy coming out and saying that they're going to cap any profit tax on Italian banks at 0.1%. Probably the only other sort of big moves is just what we've been seeing with the oil price. So the oil price touched April highs, and you've seen continued cuts from Russia and Saudi Arabia pulling up on those prices. Today, we've got some big news, which is the US CPI data will be out a little bit later, and we'll give you more information on that tomorrow. Finally, from me, also tomorrow, I just love to plug the podcast. So the podcast is a will special. So it's all about making a will, the importance of making a will, how do you do that overall, and we've actually got a specialist on the podcast to help you all understand that. That's everything from me. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you very much.